My name is Neon Gray. With me this evening, we have Unknown Availability, and we've got what's looking like a really interesting race coming up today.
Yeah, we absolutely do. The flags right now, just the first thing to point out, they're starting off with Fusoya and the Twin Harp, and Fusoya is going to be at full strength. They don't have to actually get him any spells. He's going to have them all to start.
And I see they're also joined today by Palom. So we are going to be looking at a really powerful magic heavy game today, which is going to be really exciting.
So another thing to point out real quick about these flags that we've got going on, we are in C3, which is the character flag. They're only going to be able to find 5 characters, so there's going to be duplicates. So you're going to see another Fusoya, you're going to see another Black Mage is the one we got, right? Palom or Form? I get them mixed up.
That's Palom.
Yeah, so we're going to see them around again. We're also going to end up seeing glitches being done, as you can see from Swimmy, already setting up that dupe glitch to be able to get infinite money, pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to be of interesting, if questionable use, because I'm seeing that we do have no J items today, which means a lot of the utility items aren't going to be in play. We're also on S2, so there's not going to be a ton of really powerful stuff in the shops. But because of the lack of the J items, it does mean, we're likely to be able to find some good, healing consumables pretty readily. So it's going to be valuable, just not as valuable as it might be on higher tier flags for that. And Venerable's going right for the fight in Baron Inn too, for a duplicate Fusoya, but who cares? That's a very good chance of another key item. And nothing's going to be in anyone's way here. Taking out the evil wall. Getting an Artemis bow.
That's really good for strength. That's going to be something to throw on Palom really quick to help out. I'm sure Invin's happy to find that. Even though it's not a key item, it's going to be a little bit more maybe physical damage to be able to if you run into something that can't take magic damage very well. So
yeah, and Palom needs levels to actually get up to being the Quake Kid, and without things like sirens, it might be a bit too before we actually see them.
Go ahead.
Meanwhile, over the lower right-hand corner, we've got Smakey picking up Sid. So we do have another possible person who could use that Artemis bow and use that thing very, very well. It's possibly his best weapon.
Yeah, that or possibly the Rune Axe, depending on which direction you want to go. Now, I do want to point out that the reason why we saw a character there is because this is actually free lunch. That means the Edward that is in Troya is going to have an item, and you're also going to find characters in the Watery Passage, places like that, which Invin's showing us right now. I'm going to check these couple of shops over here, and probably going to head right over to Edward and get that free item spot over there.
Yeah, this is these flags are not very complex, but they're not the sort of thing you usually see. So it's going to be really interesting to see how players who are more used to dealing with things like the flags that have been in play during the league, just adapting to what's really a very different playstyle.
And we have Edward as well. So we know 4 of our 5 characters. Edward's over there in Mysidia. So he's probably going to be the agility anchor if we don't see Cecil.
This actually, I don't know that this is even that bad of a thing. There's a running joke in general that you're always going to see Edward in a C3 because you don't have any choice. But the other thing, too, is that Edward, just with his hide skill, enables some very interesting strategies. And without J items in play, that will very much increase our toolbox. So, depending on the boss placements here, we'll get to see if our players take advantage of that.
So they found their underworld access. Magma Key was at Edward in Troya. So that's very useful. Another thing about these flags that's very interesting, the first thing is they are going to have access to the underworld, as we see, without having to go through bosses like Wyvern or Golbez. But also, these flags are set up, I believe, to have items on moon bosses too, aren't they not?
Yes, we'll see them both on the moon, and we'll see them from the Cave of Summon Monsters, and also from the Sylphs, if we should manage to get a pan and hit Yang with that pan.
Yeah, so there's going to be a few other locations that the crystal could be that will give us an interesting possible hunt. The Mist Dragon spot, Mist Dragon doesn't play a part in this because Mist Dragon will not have an item with Rydia's mom, so you will not actually come across that in this particular set of seeds or flags.
Yeah, so it's an interesting start. It's potentially very challenging, but with the Fu start and with the early Magma Key, we're seeing a lot of the potential early challenges just kind of tossed aside as we're getting over these roadblocks really easily.
So Swimmy, it looked like they were a little bit lost there. Like, I'm not sure where to go. And it's Tella.
Oh!
Number 5. I believe that is official run validation with both Tella and Edward.
It's beautiful.
So another interesting glitch that can be done, Tella's low magic point is actually not as big of an issue in these flag sets because glitches are allowed. So you're able to do the magic underflow glitch where you're able to cast pretty much infinitely in battle. Now it stops you from being able to cast outside of battle, but with Fu being at full power, probably not going to be an issue. So Tella is pretty strong once you actually go to ordeals and finish ordeals.
Yeah, it's a question, if that's going to be done. And in Venerable, underground beelining for the Dwarf Cave, or not the Dwarf Cave, the Dwarf Castle, and going straight for the boss, which is the very simple, for Baron soldiers. Should be no trouble at all as Fusoya just quakes them down.
Invin's surprising me here. Not really going for where the characters are, but going straight for item locations, trying to get the fastest route possible to get as many item locations, but went underground before even checking Antlion Cave or even doing what is it called? Fabul. There we go. For some reason I could not remember that name, but I don't disagree with this play because he can stop by, go over to Sylph Cave, even though he doesn't have the pan. If he finds the pan here, go to Sylph Cave and then go to Fabul and get Sheila out of the way right away.
Yeah, and I know as a player he's a big fan of doing Sylph before Fabul if he can, just to avoid that double dip. I'm a little surprised to see him go straight for the Dwarf Cave, the Dwarf Castle. Apparently I think dwarves really live in caves.
You know why? He has warp.
Oh yes, he's gonna get that double dip
glitch
immediately.
He's gonna do the warp glitch. So here's another cool trick with glitches. When you finish Dwarf Cave or Dwarf Castle, you actually can just warp right after getting the item from Luca, and it'll send you back into the actual crystal room that is in the sealed cave. So you can completely skip the Luca key. You don't have to use it at all. So yeah, he's taking advantage of that.
Yeah, it makes it a much higher value play. And over on the left, we did just see Triton. He did do the Antlion and took out the Calbreda very simple for this party. We're not going to see any fights give them any trouble at all, any of these players, I don't think. But got the Earth Crystal out of that. So he's probably going to go straight for... He's doing some duping. But we might see music right away. We might see a quick Zot play. There's so much here that's wide open for them, and this is a really interesting start. And it's the package behind the Luca key, or the warp spell. Which, wah.
Yeah, that's a major wah, but we might get something from King Giat and Little Luca here.
It's the pan! Oh!
The pay does play off. I like that. So he's going to be able to go into Sylph Cave, knock Yang on the head, get an item from there, possibly, as well as go right back up into Fabul and get that 2 to 3 items. So he just opened up a lot of item location.
Yeah, and that takes, a potential double dip, a potential triple dip on Fabul. He's only going to need to go there once all game, and that's really lucky.
And something else to point out, you mentioned it earlier, J items are not a thing in these flags. They're not going to have sirens to be able to egg grind. Now, I know for 3 of these runners especially, Trenton, Invenerable, and Swimmy, they know their stuff. I'm not as familiar with Smape, but if you know how to do a few different grinds out there, you can do the D-Machine grind inside of the Giant of Babel. That's a pretty popular one for the speedrunners out there of the vanilla game, as well as the Moon grind. You have the King Ryu's that you can grind. Problem with that is you have to walk back and forth and set that up. The D-Machine grind's probably going to be the one they go for. Or you can actually go grind doors inside of Sealed Cave, which I don't see Invenerable doing after doing that warp glitch.
Yeah, the problem too with doors is that it is demonstrably slower than pretty much every other option. There's another reason why you wouldn't want to use doors in this circumstance, and that's because we're actually running on the X1 flag. Now, most players are used to playing on the X2, which doubles the experience you get after 10 key items. And that makes something like the door grind a lot more viable to get you up to endgame levels. Because doors are good experience, but unless you have that doubling, even the full set of doors is not going to put you up to endgame levels. So with the X1, doors are a lot less attractive as a major source of experience.
Great point. We did find the Sand Ruby over there in the Rat Tail chest inside of Fey March. Honestly, not a useful item. We have all 5 of our characters now. We know they're easily accessible, especially with free lunch on. Probably, we're not going to see that character.
Yeah, like a lot of these key item bearing, these character bearing key items popping up early, and on an X2 you could say at least it's a key item. Here, it's literally just gonna be clogging our inventories for the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, the Zot play here from Trenton is interesting. Well, maybe not. Going to check Edward first. I don't know if I'd go to Zot here. It's not as... I don't know. It doesn't seem like a very good option to think about because it's 2 characters that you don't need. It's only 1 item that's going to send you back to Baron without Baron Key. It's kind of a routing faux pas, if you will.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna do it. We'll see here. Looks like he's doing the full loot of the treasury. Ordinarily, I do like the Zot play, but especially since he in particular has the full party, I don't know if Zot is the best idea. We'll see if he agrees with that.
Be interesting to see. We might get that music that everybody loves to hear, though. I personally love it every time.
Yeah, I mean, people like to avoid it because it takes a lot of time. It's a lot of cutscene overhead. But you know what? We're here to watch. We want to see this.
So Smape has already taken a look at the 2 bosses, tried to do Mist Dragon, got punched right in the face, and trying out Golbez. So gonna be left with 2 characters standing, hoping to not have Fusoya killed, probably. Probably a doable battle without Fusoya being killed, but you're looking at a pretty much 50-50 shot here.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can certainly stack the deck by pre-killing your characters. And Fu goes down.
I'm sorry to curse you.
But we'll see if we can get Fu back up.
Not even just Fu going down, the 2 strongest characters on their team went down.
We'll see what happens. It's a fast little slot, so this may not be doable like this, and yeah, there goes Palom and Edward before he could even get the turn off. And Trenton's going to music!
I like the play. After doing it Line Cave, seeing Earth Crystal doing music, end up coming out right over to be able to go do Zot and start back at Baron, depending on what you get. It's a little bit better of a routing decision, where Invenerable is also getting some amazing routing decisions done by checking Fabul now and getting Sheila out of the way all at once. So 3 item locations all at once. Swimmy also doing the Dwarf Castle, going to end up doing that warp glitch as well. Finding out that, getting a package, not going to need it.
Yeah, like, we've got some really nice efficiency decisions going on here. Like, we've got some really solid runners on display for you today, and they're showing for you why they're so good.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Invenerable is in the top 8, is he not?
Yes, he is.
Isn't Swimmy as well?
I would need to check. I'm not sure if... I know he was very much in the top 16. I don't know if he made it to the 8. I think so.
Yeah, I know Invenerable did. I know Invenerable did. I'm not sure about Swimmy, but yeah, Invenerable is one of the top 8. So, big shout outs to him and congrats to... It's not an easy feat. There's a lot of people out there just amazing at this game.
Yeah, like, we've got a really high... we've got people who are, like, really good at this game. Just a power shirt from the King of Fabul, but that's not bad for Sid. Not at all. So, probably see that.
Trenton taking the easy way out and nuking himself in the face.
Hey, gotta save those frames.
Don't blame you at all. So, get your guesses in chat. I'm curious. What are we gonna hear today? I'm saying Chrono Trigger.
Oh yes, and I can confirm that yes, Swimmy Leone is as well in the top 8 place, just behind Invenerable. So with they both have 12 points in the league, so they are both gonna be showing off for you on the final day. Oh.
I don't recognize this.
That's 5.
Aerith's theme. No, wait.
Lena. It's Lena.
Lena. Okay, that's why I don't recognize it. I've never played 5. I know. Shame me later. I don't care.
I actually have never heard this one before in the game.
So Baron Key and Luca Key are both from Sheila, which that's very interesting. They did the pan. They got the pan from Dwarf Castle to do the warp glitch, so the Luca Key was behind Sheila anyway.
Well, if glitches weren't on, that might have been useful. But now we already know that there's a package in there, and that package is gone.
Yep, and the Baron Key is actually going to be really nice. That's very useful for Invenerable because, again, they're going to be getting their Earth Crystal. They're probably going to be doing a similar route to what Trenton has done, but going and doing all the chests and everything like that. They've already checked Edward. Probably going to do, Magnus Cave, and then going into Earth Crystal to do Baron, come back into Baron, do Baron. So...
yeah, it's a very nice chain to be able to do what you can. And with the Baron Key too, that does expose 2 key items, because you also do get a possible key item from the Odin slot.
Very true. So yeah, a lot of key item spots are just open and really linear for Invenerable right now.
Yes. And Triton has defeated Odin at the Dark Elf, and received a hook, which won't do him any good right now.
It's definitely not the most useful item right now, but once they find the rat tail and the pink tail, that's going to be a definite useful armor in the form of adamant, as well as possible another key item. What's your guess for where the crystal is going to be now that we've seen a good portion of these items? Where do you think it's going to end up landing?
I'm calling Pale Dim.
Pale Dim. I think it's going to be always value in Cave Bahamut.
You know what? I'm sure there is value in K Bahamut, but there's many kinds of value.
There are. It could be, but the thing that would be unfortunate, like you would want to come back for it most likely, is something like the pink tail, but that's like, God, that would make you come back around and do a ridiculous routing. I missed what the sylphs actually gave. Was that it looked like the adamant crystal, but I could not tell.
I'm not seeing it lit up on anyone's tracker, so I don't think so.
Yeah, it was very quick, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's like these people are really good at mashing through text boxes.
It's just
It's like
I
they're fast
mashed
and
through
good
it, but
at
I
it
can't
or
read it
something.
that fast. Got a couple of guesses.
It's an Avenger.
An Avenger.
Which, great item, not great for this party.
Entirely useless. Not a single person can use it.
It'll sell for a lot, which, again, not very useful with the glitches on.
Again, entirely useless, yeah, right? Alright, so Trenton's going to be doing a quick tint. Will they underflow good old man's magic and have that work in their favor? I doubt it, because they've got Fu at full power. It's not really something you need.
Yeah, like, the question for me here is if people do ordeals at all. Like, normally you would if you had Tello in the party, but with a full power Fu, meh?
I may do it just before going to Zeromus, but then again, you have Fu Sid, who is, not the greatest character, but he can do some damage if you get a decent weapon on him.
And we've certainly found a decent weapon for him. We've got, like, Earth Hammer, which is, like, a more accurate version of the, It's very similar to the Root Axe in terms of how good it is because of the increased accuracy. We've got that Artemis bow.
Smay has not actually got the chance to warp yet.
Oh, no.
So
they're just doing that yet.
Yeah, they gotta start, but they haven't had a chance to warp yet, so. But Inven finishing off their Magnus Cave. Another interesting little, it's not really a glitch, but it's something that you can just prevent some frames. When you're coming back from Magnus Cave and you're on that Black Chocobo, if you hold down, you won't go back into the Chocobo, area. So you'll save yourself from having to do screen transitions.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting sort of thing. It's sort of the same kind of effect where if you land your airship next to a town and you've got the directional button hit too early, you won't actually enter the town. But in this case, it actually works in your favor.
Yeah, I hate it whenever that happens in the beginning, man. It's like, I'm gonna land. Nope, never mind. I'm going to turn back around and go back in a Baron.
Yeah, and I do want to take a moment here to call out our tracker here, Golden Hades. We've had people going all in different directions, doing different things, but the tracking here has been on point. So everyone, love your trackers. They do a lot of hard work, and you know what? It's mostly the best tracking is the kind you don't really notice. So
100%. Yeah, big shout outs to Golden Hades, doing an absolutely fantastic job. You can go cross-eyed looking at these screens. All right, who's in the Valhalla spot up in Tower of Zod? And Invenerable's actually right on Trenton's heels.
Leviathan. So this shouldn't be any trouble at all. I mean, none of these bosses are... There's very little we're gonna encounter until we start getting moon bosses that can stand up to a nuke.
And while we're at it too, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to our runners. We got Trenton, Invenerable, Sumi Leone, and Snake D. They are your featured runners today. I'm sure we have other runners out there on this race going on. Just a weekly race, which you can also be a part of, as you see on the screen, FF4FE.com if you are interested in joining this. It is a very fun thing to do. It is a very well-made randomizer. I love it. It's a big shout out to Final Fantasy IV, which absolute childhood, loved it. So definitely go there, be a part of it, come join the Discord. You'll love it there. It's a great place, a lot of welcoming people.
And we get an adamant armor from doing that. Not a key item, but nobody cares.
Very useful. Now for Trenton, no Baron key. And Venerable's going to get that adamant armor, probably equip it right away, and then go right into Baron and get 2 more key items.
Yeah, so that will be... But, it's a mild inconvenience. It shouldn't take too long for Trenton to head downstairs and get that pen, get that Baron key. It's not as efficient, but it shouldn't be too much of a relative time loss. And there could be nothing in Baron, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be something leading somewhere. Probably the Darkness Crystal, if I had to guess. Maybe the Pass. The Pass is a part of the items right now. It's going to have something leading somewhere. Unless they need to go to top of tower, because there's really nowhere else they can go. Trenton and Venerable both have the hook. Swimmy does not have the hook at this moment. Now, Smay did miss their warp. They tried to warp in the wrong spot, but hopefully that doesn't dig too deep at them because it was just the package. So we know it wasn't useful. Hopefully they don't miss that. Now Trenton's going to Ordeals. So we're going to see this Ordeals item. This could be a huge tilt right here if this is something like the Crystal where everybody's avoiding Ordeals.
Yeah, this could be our Darkness Crystal as well. And again, if people are avoiding it. Because it is a free key item check. Nothing locks us out of it at the start of the game.
It is. And that was another point, too, that Smape actually did the underflow and couldn't do the warp glitch. So because they underflowed, they were blocked from it because you can't cast from your menu when you're underflowed because it counts you as having 0 mana at all. So,
of course, that is fixable if you just use an ether on the affected character, but if you didn't have one on hand, then not much to be done for it.
And good old Fabul Gauntlet is the Mylon fight. Everybody loves seeing this right here.
Well, it'll be easy at least. It won't be quick, but it'll be easy.
Yeah.
Let's hope it pays off for him because nothing feels worse than sitting through the gauntlet and having it be nothing.
Yeah, there was a time that I'm like, the gauntlet ain't nothing. It's easy. It's a little bit of experience here and there, but no, it's awful. It's awful. So Invin's going to be doing the CPU fight. Probably going to be killing off the defender first. Well, actually, you know what? Just going to go right in and do Quake. I completely forgot he's got full power Fu.
Yeah, this slot, not a lot of hit points. Gonna have to beat the Globe 199, looks like, but we got by. There we go. Just one more clocking on it from Sid, and it's all good.
Using that the engineer ingenuity.
Hey, hit it until it works or doesn't work.
Who's the king of Baron today? Let's go vanilla. No, Octomon.
You'd think somebody would have noticed that.
Right? Tentacles hanging out, and yeah. King, what big tentacles you have.
Maybe this is something with the original King of Baron that nobody really wants to contemplate.
Yeah, all the things that in the original game that just happened, it's like, it made sense that it was just a giant turtle with claws and fangs.
I mean, it had 2 arms, 2 legs, a head. This octopus royalty is interesting.
And Callie Diddy calling out the FF6 with the "Don't tease the octopus, kids." Another great game. I love that game so much.
Yes. In fact, yeah. Like, what was I gonna say? Something about 6, but so it probably wasn't very important. But yes, a fantastic game.
It happens. It's okay. So we are going to see the... And I don't blame Trenton at all for doing that, by the way. Going back and saving, just in case, like, if you run into something stupid here, like a vanilla Mylon Z, which isn't bad, it's just funny. I was waiting for a vanilla.
Oh, so a ninja shirt. That's so useful.
Yeah, no. I wish it was.
Fantastic item. But, edge only.
Is it on the edge? I thought, I always get confused because there's other ninja items too that can be equipped by like Yang and the other characters, but it's the ninja shirt that's edge only.
Yeah, it is absolutely his best item. It huge amount of magic defense on it, which is great for taking into Zed, but not very good if you don't have edge.
Of course, thank you, C3. Oh, we've got a lunar boss. I believe this is
It's Wyvern!
Mega Nuke immediately in the face. Oh man!
Oh no!
And then no. Oh man!
And it's Mom Bomb in the Ordeals chamber, which one of the worst slots for Mom Bomb, but you know, with Nuke, might not be much of an issue.
And FYI, welcome to the other part of these flags. Wyvern. It's definitely there, and as you can tell, it hurts.
We have absolutely no mitigation on that immediate Mega Nuke. It's good times. And as chat has already leapt on it, yes, I hope something is very valuable on that spot.
Oh man, Crystal or the Path to Z. Oh man. The Crystal being there would be so rude, man.
It would be beautiful, is what it would be.
A lot of the top 8 runners, I'm gonna tell you right now. It's
the darkness was at Ordeals. I didn't catch it, but our wonderful tracker did. Our chat did.
That's fantastic. Actually, there's the darkness crystal that you mentioned. So. Top of tower, is it going to have something? Is Invenerable going to be chasing a red herring? Does it have the vanilla tower key?
He has very much been avoiding Ordeals, which, fair enough, there's not much reason to do it with Fu. But how much time is that going to cost him?
It could cost a bit, depending on what's... That darkness crystal is very important. Just period. It's important. There's a lot of items on the moon, and there's no guarantee the crystal isn't going to be there. The darkness crystal is access to Zeromus. The pass can be on the moon. We haven't seen that yet, so there's no telling.
Yeah, and you know what? This could be interesting.
You can, so with some agility manipulation and things of that nature, you can actually get in something before the Mega Nuke on Wyvern. That is a really tough thing to do, but the whole thing about it is it's going to require run buffer. It's going to require some sort of agility manipulation, as well as the hardest thing here, we don't have any J items. So you're not going to be able to do a Star Veil, Moon Veil. You're going to have to try to cast a wall with Fusoya or with Tella. So that's crazy. I missed what that item was.
That was a rat tail, so it's not a dead end yet. Yeah, I know the wall spell doesn't have it's got a 0 delay, so it casts as fast as, Nuke or or an item or anything. So it may be possible if you can get Fu or Tella the turn. I don't know if it's going to be possible to get those specific characters a turn. We'll see.
And
Maybe.
The worst part about it is Tella is still a mystery to people who do Lua scripts and things like that, which Venerable is one of those people for agility manipulation and things like that. Tella just has weird effects on agility manipulation, so trying to use him as the anchor and things like that, Tella is a pain. He just does not work nice with others.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're going to see if that's it's very still a mysterious area of the game. I'm really glad we do have things like the scripts now that we can start to actually understand what's actually going on here, because that's the sort of thing that's going to be necessary to really come up with the best possible strats. But right now, we're still in kind of a weird transitional phase where we know some things, we don't know a lot of things.
So Trenton is going right into Giant of Battle, deciding to go ahead and do the Giant grind. I can't blame him. That's actually a really good move.
Yeah, this is a party that really, I'm thinking that hit points are going to matter more than agility when it comes to Zerobus. So, grind now. It doesn't matter when you grind because we don't have the doubling. Do it now. Makes sense.
So, going straight for D-Mist with Fusoya, gonna hit him with a nuke. Hopefully gonna get off enough damage, but I don't think it's gonna be too big of a problem.
Yeah, with the turn cycling, probably gonna be able to get the blinks off, which will keep Fusoya protected. And I believe... Oh, we're not even blinking at all, just gonna tank those hits and see if we can do it.
Very interesting move. But he's probably counting that health, too.
Yeah. And if he hasn't reset by now with doing that... Oh, right, he's got the adamant armor.
I immediately remembered that as soon as I saw the one hit, I was like, oh yeah, tank every hit you can, who cares?
Yeah, oh, there we go.
Miss Dragon, please.
Yeah, and it's not even gonna take that long with the nukes, so it's all good.
And I mean, in all honesty, though, that is a rough spot for Miss Dragon in any other sense. Plenty of other flags out there. This spot could just be a test of menuing and getting blinks off and trying to just beat that timer, because it's pretty fast. It's the vanilla Ashura spot.
Yeah, it's a rough spot, especially for anything physical, like this dragon, which does nothing but physicals. And he's just going straight into Golbez after just getting a life staff out of that.
Why not?
Yeah, everybody else is dead, it's the perfect time to do it.
You know another reason why Invenerable hasn't gone to Ordeals, or even thought to go to Ordeals?
He doesn't have Tella yet.
He doesn't have Tella yet. He hasn't seen Tella.
That makes so much sense.
I didn't even realize that everybody else has their full party except for Invenerable. He's just gone straight to items.
Well, really, this is a pretty solid party, even with Edward in it.
The other three are pretty solid. Fu can handle your healing before Zeromus. You can't do... Does the underflow get reversed whenever you get the heal?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah, it will. But also with the thing, with the way the items are and the glitches, it's gonna be really easy to get ethers. I don't know if elixirs are gonna be available because it's S2, but we're gonna have ethers. We're gonna have ether 2s. Keeping Fu's MP up to heal through the full fight won't be a problem. And Snape, he doesn't have Tele yet either, so...
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot more sense why two of our runners have not gone to Ordeals.
Yeah.
And they won't be getting Tele here either, because this was Palom and Edward.
Yeah. Triton doing a very nice D-Machine grind over here. But, casting ice on the D-Machines are not going to be the thing you do to kill them.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed in that moment that, from the vanilla game when Cecil and Rosa, like, embrace isn't there. Edward embracing Edward just sounds like an amazing thing.
And Golbez goes down, providing a white spear.
Oh, such a great item for not having Kane.
Yeah, a white spear and an Avenger? Of course we don't have Kane.
Debated by both of those bosses.
And this means, well, he does have the rat tail and the hook. He can go cash that in. So from here, after that though, we're pretty much... He's gonna be blocked out of pretty much everywhere but Ordeal, so he's gonna have to go there.
Yeah, and right now, you know, he's the only one with the rat tail. For him, it would be very good to see something like the crystal. But there's so much otherwise that could be there. That's, you know, the tower key. Somebody pointed that out earlier. It could be a total debate on that and give you the tower key requiring you to go back in because you got that rat tail from
the tower. Yeah, that would be beautiful.
Tower.
Snape be clearing Zot and getting his adamant armor, which is, again, I think everybody's just putting that on Fu because, yeah, that's the best place for it.
Only other one I would consider it on is maybe Sid, but Sid just doesn't have the weapon right now, so for physical damage. But yeah, Fu's the clear choice.
Yeah. Helen's good with it too, but I think in this party, Fu's your best choice for it.
Probably in the Zoromas fight you could move the spoon. Oh man, so he has to go to Ordeals now. That's the only other option.
And it's Sid on Ordeals, the free character there, so he's not even going to get Tella out of that.
And you know, again, shoutouts to routing. In all honesty, his routing was A1 perfect. Even though he did all of this crazy stuff, he is at Ordeals, going to be getting his Darkness Crystal and pretty much heading to where Trenton's at, or going up into the Moon, period. Not too far different from where Trenton's at. Swimmy just got done. Like, he's literally taken so much time, but has done such efficient routing that it's put him right where he needs to be.
Yeah, like from both these players, you know, we've seen basically a full clear, as far as is humanly possible, of the entire Earth. Swimmy hasn't done the single dip on tower, which, you know, good. That's a total waste of time, even if he doesn't know it.
So does this mean the tower key is going to be in Cave Bahamut and they're going to have to get the crystal from the tower?
That's a real possibility.
And the pass is going to be at the Wyvern spot?
Oh, there's harder spots in Wyvern. Let's put it somewhere worse than that.
Yeah. You know, I was more thinking because it's like the very last spot, you've got to go all the way in, even if you can exit. That's just such a long way in, so you have to grab that and leave to go use it.
Oh, that's the Ogopogo slot.
Oh, is Ogopogo the last boss?
Yes.
Or no.
Well,
Ogopogo is the one that you have to like travel all the way around in that single spot, right?
Yeah, Ogopogo is the one in like the crystal area at the very end, like 2 screens before Zoromas.
Oh.
Wyvern is the one with the save point right in front of it.
Okay. Yeah, see, I haven't played the vanilla game in so long, I forgot who goes where in the Moon.
I just used a tracker that lists them by those names, so I remember that that way. I never even got any of those spots when I was a kid. I thought the bosses were too hard.
And Chad is right. We still have that wonderful Odin spot with Wyvern that is still hiding something. Possibly. I hope he's hiding something. I really want him to hide something. He needs that crystal.
Yeah, that... if that crystal is on that wyvern, I will take back every joke I made in the IRC channel about this seed being free.
I literally love the fact that it could be that, and it's just going to be... It's one of those moments you just want to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, it's like... You know what, that's the moment where you want to go to these racers' individual streams, find out the ones that have their webcams, and just get the looks on their faces.
I can imagine. I can just imagine, like, straight what face, just, like, possible Dan's game, or, Dan's game, just like, oh my god, why? Because Invenerable's the only one that knows that right now, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the only one that knows that. So right now, he's got in the back of his mind where he's going here and Ordeals. He's probably thinking, please have something. Please have somewhere for me to go. Don't give me Legend Sword. Don't give me Adamant. I don't want to have to go fight Wyvern.
And he's got his Darkness Crystal.
And we can now hear across the collective locations that we are living the sigh of relief from Invenerable.
And only now does Triton go underground.
I have to write this down now because I have to ask him, how big of a sigh of relief did you have when you found Darkness Crystal?
Yeah, so that's really interesting to compare because Triton is only just now popping his magma key, when Invenerable here has done a full clear of the Earth. So, this is just looking at these kinds of efficiencies you can make just from deciding, with the tools at hand, where to go. Chat asking where Tella was,
He was actually in one of his vanilla locations. He was in the Watery Pass.
Yes.
That's the only location we have seen him, so I don't know where else he may be. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a dupe of him. Maybe not. That might be the only place he's at.
No, there's always 2 to 3 instances of a character on C3. Because we've seen multiples of, I think, everyone else, we're likely to see Tella on the moon.
On the moon, possibly even. He could just be the character that's at Giant.
Yes, because we do have one character at Giant, so it's possible that he's the only one, that the Watery Pass is the only accessible one.
That would be really funny, actually, because it could mean 2 of our runners never come across Tella. Which I understand why not. For somebody at an Invenerable's level, and I mean any of these runners' level, checking Watery Pass probably isn't even on your mind. They may have even forgot about it altogether, because even though it's a free lunch seed, you don't really think about some of those spots, because you're going to be going to so many of these locations anyway.
Yeah, or you might know about it, you might have decided against it, because it's kind of out of your way. You've got to land over in that desert, you got to go through a place you wouldn't normally go. Oh, and Smapety is about to get a big surprise!
Oh yeah. A big mega nuke surprise. A mega surprise, if you will. I did not expect this seed to start pushing into the hour mark at all.
I mean, a K2 will do that by itself, but, some of these... with how open it was at the start, it gets really interesting.
And save's coming. Invenerable's deciding to say, nah, I'm good. I don't need those 2 characters.
Well, he already has them, so...
Exactly. Oh, he's checking Watery Pass now.
Well, hey.
Look, oh, man. He's just like, no, go away.
Beautiful.
The pause, like, I know he has an immediate reset button. The pause to look at that, like, oh, really? Come on. He bought, like, 70 long swords earlier, by the way. He was like praying for Edge because he got even Spoon. He got the ninja shirt. He's like, this is an Edge seed. It has Edge. Nope.
Going straight for Cave Bahamut.
There's always value in Cave Bahamut.
He's not even checking the lunar palace yet.
He doesn't want Tella. He doesn't want Tella.
I think he knows the math there too, and I think he's reasoned out that it's very likely to be Tello there. So,
I'm not going there unless I have to. He's probably thinking, you know what? Give me the crystal here. I'll figure out a way to go kill Wyvern.
And I mean, normally he likes Tilla, but in this party, not much of a value add.
Yeah, there's really not. It's one of those things of just, why waste the time?
Free! There's our value.
That's definitely part of the equation. And Trenton, seeing that they get the package from the warp glitch, gonna be doing all the Dark World stuff. Getting the pan, gonna go check that, head back to Fabul. So Trenton has got a little bit of work to go through, but they are in full power mode. They've done their grind.
Yeah, so there should be no trouble at all. Just sweeping through even those annoying boss spots in Summon Monsters that gave nothing.
And Swimmy's doing their grind now as well, which I don't blame Invenerable for getting the items and then figuring out the grind. Like, get your go mode. Get your go mode, know where you're going, then do your grind.
Yeah, like, you know what? Like, there's a lot to be said for the notion. It's Excalibur.
Real man rip. So,
yeah.
No, the only value is just an easy boss. That's all it is. So nothing at Cave Bahamut. Your prediction is looking more and more possible, and that Wyvern spot is looming. Invin's just like, please no, please no. Because I think it's Invin and Smapey that's the only two that know about that, because Swimmy hasn't even gone back to check that yet either.
Yeah, so we're getting an interesting divide between who knows what's going on here and who doesn't.
And before Tella. No. Does he dodge the Tella bullet?
He does!
He dodged the Tella bullet, so literally, that means Tella has to be at the Giant.
I mean, he could be unpackaged. Nobody's checked that, because why would you? I don't think anybody's checked Sand Ruby either, because again,
that's
why would you?
That's what I was going to say too, Sand Ruby. Yeah, so package or Sand Ruby, but dude, he dodged that Tella bullet. He's just going to be going with a 4-party system.
Yeah. But as I was about to say, you know what, there's a lot to be said too for not stopping the grind until you actually have to. There's no real roadblocks yet. So it's interesting because there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. Oh yes, and there is also a character in Eblan Cave who nobody checked because, once again, why would you?
Exactly. Now, another thing too, he's probably also realizing that a lot of these levels that he's going to be getting and the experience he's going to be getting in these later spots, which Fu can pretty much handle himself, he's going to get levels from that. So he's going to have to do less of a grind.
Yeah. And the D machines are, pound for pound, they are going to be your most efficient grind in the game. But without that doubling, it is less efficient than a lot of people are used to. Oh, and Tella is on Sand Ruby, is what I'm hearing.
Wonderful. So everybody knows they're 5, and 2 of our runners have straight up noped on Tella, and 2 of our runners have a 5-person party. It'll be interesting to see once that crystal's found, how people go about that and how much that changes the Zeroma's fight. I doubt it changes it very much, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a huge impact because Tella Tella's job in the fight, normally, is to be the floor monitor.
Alright. D-Lunar on the moon.
In their vanilla spot.
So vanilla.
Jeez, what's wrong with this randomizer? And a big ol' you tried to Snape D on that wyvern.
Yeah, go somewhere else, dude. Go somewhere else. Go check your ordeals. That's gonna be your best bet.
He's trying it again.
That is so bold. Props to you for trying, Snape D.
It might be doable if Edward can get a hide off, of all things.
Yeah, that is very possible. Have they found life potions or anything?
Oh yeah, they are for sale everywhere. That's just one of the things that happens with no J items.
Alright, the easy part down. Now he's just going to pretty much stun lock this D-Lunar. And once you get one of the D-Lunars down and you physical attack the other one, they're going to wall and they're not going to target with viruses. So you're going to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, you're still gonna get the fire counters, but, you know, meh. It's percentile damage, who cares?
Yeah, fire counters are way better than... Oops.
He got a wall off! He got the wall off!
That was probably slightly unplanned. He probably thought Fu was going to be a little bit faster with that nuke.
Oh gosh!
Whoa!
He had to dial a battle speed all the way up to 6. But he's doing it! He's doing it!
Snape with the strats, man! Good for him! Get it done!
Oh man, if this is Crystal...
Is it Crystal?
Is it Crystal? Come on!
What?
Oh!
It's womp womp. Oh man, the Legend Sword at Wyvern. That just skyrocketed Invenerable in the lead right now.
But you know what? That's a moment where you don't care if it was a Legend Sword, you don't care if it was a Drain Spear. That feels good to pull off.
Yeah, now the one thing that is also kind of scary for Snape right now, though, they don't know what's at Luca.
Yeah, and I hope they don't chase that to just get a worthless package.
I agree.
It doesn't take long just to check, to be honest, but still, he's running. Oh, he's going to check.
He's going to Luca. He's going to Luca.
Just save before you go in, please.
Please save.
Oh no!
Oh wait, no, he's gonna. Okay.
Summon monsters. That's fine.
Yes.
It's just a waste of time, but that's fine.
It's better than it. That's in the back of his mind, without a doubt. That Luca key is just, when you miss that warp glitch and you're just not sure what's there. You know others have pulled it off, and you're like, I can't believe I forgot how to do that. That's rough. You get scared.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing you keep thinking. There's something important there. There's got to be something important there.
Yeah, and chat does make a good point too. If this was the V1 flag, that would have been amazing for Snape.
Yeah.
But of course, if it was the V1 flag, that would have not even been there. It would have just been something else anyway. Another thing to point out with the current flags, there is no doubled experience, like like Neon Gray said earlier. So 10 key items doesn't mean anything. It's just a matter of finding useless items at this point until you find the crystal and or the pass. We have the darkness crystal, so Invenerable's on the moon taking care of that. Right now Trenton's handling Golbez in the Land of Summoned Monsters, and Swimmy is checking and finding out they're getting Sid, probably going to be going through the completely forgot the name, the moon pass as well. I completely forgot the name of the moon area.
Oh, there's a pass.
Okay. That's useful, man. That's amazing. I'm glad that the pass was found.
It's useful if and only if the route takes us back to Earth. And right now, we're missing 2 key items. We're missing Tower Key, and we're missing Crystal.
And the Tower Key does not necessarily have to lead to the Crystal.
It doesn't. It could.
It could. And sorry, runners, I want it to.
Yeah.
You can yell at me later, I want it to.
Meanwhile, Swimmy checking out the Pale slot, while Invenerable pulls the Ogo spot.
So we're getting 2 different bosses here. Hey, Dark Elf. Me change. And free fall.
Water Hag.
Be strong, Edward. Be strong.
Neither of these are very threatening fights here, so...
Nah, once you push Dark Elf into his me change section, that phase 2 part of the fight is nothing. And Water Hag, of course, 1 hit. Be strong, Edward. 2 hits. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So if there's no... One of these has to have the item. It has to have an item. And the other one's gonna be at Wyvern. If there's something here. So somebody's... Oh! Glass Hat.
Oh, man.
So Invenerable's gonna get something. Probably.
I mean, at this point... But there's one more spot to check, right? There's the Wyvern spot.
Yeah. These are the
So-
2 key item spots of the game that we don't know anything about yet.
One of
And we've got
these
2
has to be the
hits?
tower.
Yeah.
So whether or not one's the crystal... There's the tower.
Now, does he chase it, or does he go to Wyvern? Now, I know Invenerable does a lot of, like, saves, you know, strats with save juggling.
Yes. He saves comes a lot. He loves to go ahead and do a quick exit, go check it, save at one of the... This is what he's doing. He's going to save right now. He is going to go check that tower right now, because it's not that long of a check.
No, he's warping. Because he has exit, he's got Fu. So he's just
Okay.
gonna do that here while he's here, because it's not that long of a check either, and it's pretty close.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
I don't blame him.
And he hasn't done Pale Dim either. So right now, we're the only ones who know that this is a 50% chance of having the crystal.
Man, we are literally hundoing this seed. Because here's the thing, this is going to be a key item. It's guaranteed to be a key item. Because it's going to be... No, wait. Sorry, Invenerable found Adamant. Never mind. So this is going to either be trash or it's going to be crystal.
Yes.
I didn't see that he had Adamant.
Yes, Adamant and Pinktail were behind the D-Lunars. And if
And
this is
3
crystal,
sisters.
Swimmy Leone's about to come up on it too.
Oh, man.
Oh wait, no, he was on the later one. Sorry, I saw him at a save spot and I got excited.
Still, Swimmy is not far behind. He's also he's done his grind.
Yeah.
Where, I mean... Yeah, he's done his grind, so his grind is a lot better than where he's at. So it's going to be kind of a race to the finish here. It's going to be really close between these two.
Yeah. And again, both of these players in the top 8 of our league. And we're seeing why.
Getting a preview of the top 8 right now, that's wild.
And I mean, I have to hand it to both Trenton and Smapey here, because they're on display against some of our best players, and they're not doing badly at all. They're doing better than I would be doing.
Of course, yeah, the me too, without a doubt. The Panda, yes, Cave Bahamut was checked. It was Excalibur. It was a free fight, but it was Excalibur. And boom, 3 sisters are down.
Is it crystal or is it nothing?
Come on, nothing. It's a ribbon!
It's a ribbon! It's behind tower!
Tower key is the crystal, and it was on the moon. That is so evil. The seed, man.
It's beautiful.
I love it. Whoever generated this seed, you deserve a hug.
That would be our lovely admin of our Friday weekly race, Natara, who is currently racing as well. So, you know what? She did this to herself.
Wait, who did you say generated this?
Natara.
Of course it was Natara. Of course it was Natara. It could only be Natara or Shala.
And Scala is, of course, currently with working the host with the RPG Valkyries with their wonderful speedrun Ragnarok that's going on right now. So, this is Natara's work, and it's beautiful. Truly, this is some Valkyrie energy in this.
Edward, be strong. Here, have a glass helmet. Oh wait, you're face down on the ground, sorry.
I'll just put it here, by your head.
I'll just give it to your grandfather.
Where's my father? I heard that he was wandering somewhere.
You
Why
just
can't I see my father?
You left him in the watery pass! How dare you leave him in the top of the giant? Or stricken with whatever fever Rosa had in the vanilla game.
Desert fever. Why don't you love my father? You never loved me. And he just resets out because, yeah.
Why? Yeah, why would you not? It's faster. And Smape is going into Luca right now. Oh man.
I hope he just runs for it, and then does a quick reset once he sees that it's worthless.
It's a good sign. He turned that off. No, he's gonna grind. He's gonna door grind.
Oh no, I hope he realizes that the XP is not worth it.
Gonna go ahead and get a second adamant armor. That's probably gonna go on Palom if I had to guess. Knowing Invenerable.
Yeah, I'm thinking Palom for that.
So, interesting thing for swimming here. They're gonna have to go back in and get that tower key. They can't really do any like save scum strats here with this, with the way that they've kind of routed it. But Invenerable's heading right towards tower. So with all the bosses that we've seen, who's at tower?
I'm gonna say Asura.
I'm gonna say Vanilla. We haven't seen Dark Imps. Because this seed.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Nothing here is gonna be hard, but, you know, it's always nice to see.
Alright, moment of truth, heading right into the tower.
And he's sitting there here going, please not Odin. Please not Odin.
That's right, he hasn't done Wyvern yet. And it's Bahamut. Oh man. That's not a tough fight at all, but still, it's like...
Value in Fight Bahamut.
Yes, value at Fight Bahamut. Bahamut always has value. Quick nuke, he's probably sitting here just like, I've got 2 spots. Not Wyvern. Please not Wyvern. And he has the pass. He's going to be able to go right back over there. I don't think Swimmy has that knowledge yet about Odin's spot.
I don't think so, yeah. He's got to be feeling behind here. Has anyone finished yet? No, they have not. So, as far as I know, Invenerable could very well still be in the lead. And yeah, he has gone a full 18 of 18 on this. He hasn't kept everyone. He's reset out of some things, but
he's checked pretty much every spot you can.
Yeah. Like, he has been to every key item bearing spot in the game.
With the exception of Odin's spot. He has not finished that. He knows why Odin's there.
Yes. He's at least done a check on them.
But as it stands, he has collected every key item. He has put his hands on every key item. Whether or not he kept it, different story. And at 1:10:08, Invenerable has entered go mode and heading to do his grind.
I see the confusion here. Yes, I do see the Legend Sword lit up for Inven, which was the item from the Odin slot. But as far as I know, he never actually did that fight. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hasn't gone there, which is no big deal.
Yes.
Again, big shout-outs to Golden Hades, doing a fantastic job keeping track of all this. These runners have not been in the same place.
Yeah,
so,
and you know what? It's an easy thing to miss there, so yeah. Still, he has actually checked every key item bearing slot, and that's the only one that he didn't complete, so 17 of 18.
Oh man, but Lord, that is so wild.
Yeah. And no finishes yet. And I know, too, that he's been looking at the actual math needed for precise numbers of D-machines needed to achieve target levels.
There's a few resources out there, too, that have been developed by a few of the different runners, so...
Yeah, a couple calculators that have been done recently. I know Supremacy, who I think has been in chat, has done one. Someone else as well, who escapes me.
Supremacy is the one that I knew about that I personally have saved in my favorites because that was an amazing tool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to interviewing Inven. I can't lie. Just the hyperventilation of Inven in general, just knowing, and yeah, just period. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so still doing the trapdoor grind, and Snapety's side, deciding to go ahead and go for it and try to get that grind out of the way. Sid is laying flat on the floor, and Swimmy is just going to be getting their tower key. Well, finding out the ribbon, knowing that they have their tower key. They're going to know one of two spots, because they still need to go to Baron, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where Swimmy's going to go from here. Like, I would
my
think
guess
Tower.
would be Tower, yeah, because Tower Key is a faster check than Baron.
They haven't done top of Tower either. That's 2 items.
Yeah.
So Tower is going to be the right place to go for Swimmy. Not just because the crystal's there, but just on routing sense alone, where dense locations are.
Yeah, so I'm expecting we're going to see Tower. Baron's a possibility, but I'm thinking it's less likely in this particular case.
Yeah, Baron makes less sense. Even though it opens up like 2 spots, it's very long cutscenes. You have to go out, come back in, travel all the way to Odin. It's not quick by any means.
Yeah.
Tower, though, is a pretty quick loop, even though it's got a cutscene. 2 items pretty quick. 2 item spots pretty quick.
Yeah, the hike is about the same distance, I think, for both Baron and Tower. So you're down to cutscene length afterwards, and Tower's cutscenes are shorter. And the actual efficiency of the key item placement is better for Tower.
Yeah, they're going Tower without a doubt. That's why they went ahead and we're going to get your adamant. Stop proving me wrong, Swimmy. Thank you.
And there we go, assuming that somebody wouldn't want adamant armor.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You have one,
or we just
don't you?
forgot that he got that big tail.
Where was the first adamant armor? I forget where they got that gift from.
First adamant armor was off of Zot.
Was off of Zot, so Swimmy has one adamant armor. Why not go ahead and grab the second one? Make every fight easy. Because they,
Yeah.
for as far as they know, they're going to get hit in the face by Wyvern at one of these spots and have to do something. So
Yeah. And
okay,
okay, good.
Scared me.
Yeah.
Oh man, Swimmy, don't scare me like that.
Trenton getting his Excalibur from Edge's parents, wondering where their son is. And Inveterable has pulled the grind fight, while Swimmy is closing in rapidly on the crystal. Smapty has finished that door grind and is gonna hit the top of the tower, gonna be disappointed eventually.
Yeah, I think Inveterable ran into a little bit of a snag because Edward went into hide mode, and
Oof,
yeah, so he couldn't get the right setup on that.
Yeah, that can definitely be a problem for your turn order.
Surprised he's not going. I guess he's just going to go ahead and level him up, try to get him maybe to the. I don't know what agility he's at right now, but he's going to want him at 14 or 28 for the Zeromus fight because he's probably going to be the anchor if I had to guess.
You know what? As long as it's below 28, it's gonna be fine. That's something that we just came up with that Lewis script that you were mentioning. We cracked that open earlier, and as long as it's below 28, it is not going to impact Zeromus' speed at all. Zeromus is going to be the same speed no matter what.
That's actually very good to know. So
Yeah.
literally you can just keep Fu in that spot because Fu doesn't really change agility at all. He stays at 20 pretty much the whole time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's going to affect the relative speeds of the rest of your party, so there can still be value to that sort of manipulation. But the impact is going to be on you, not on Zero.
Yeah, this is going to put Swimmy and Invin really close to each other. Swimmy's going to be able to head right to the fight after doing this. And Invin's probably going to be finishing up this grind right around the same time that Swimmy's going to be heading that way. So Swimmy's going to be getting there first, actually.
Yeah, because he's just about to get that crystal. Looks like he didn't even bother checking top at tower.
That's a bold move.
It is, but you know what? It's gotta work.
And Invin's done with the grind.
Looks like he's gonna 3-man this fight, which makes total sense, really.
Oh man, this is gonna be so close.
Or is he gonna dip back in and do... Oh god, he's gonna do a second fight?
He's gonna do another fight. I don't know, he might have
I know he likes this strat. He likes to do a double grind. First to throw the party's levels higher above one other party member.
slingshot.
Yeah. Because while you don't get the doubling anymore, you do still get the catch-up XP.
Yeah, that's vanilla in the game, so... Wow, man, that's wild. Invin just lost place because of doing the slingshot strat.
Maybe. Because wipes happen even with players who are this good.
Yeah, and this party is not exactly... easy mode. This party is good, but you are limited by magic. So we're gonna see what happens here.
Yeah, like, you know what? This race is by far from over.
Yeah, and I mean that's a fair assumption. Assume no dot duns. It wasn't top of tower. That's a pretty fair assumption. If you're sitting there at 115 and you got the tower key on the moon, and you're like, I still don't have the crystal. You might assume the worst and think Odin spot Wyvern happen. But yeah, so we got Swimmy Leone on the Zeromus fight, let's see who our special guest is today.
Oh, Skella's not here, so I will say this for her. Whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
And I'm sure it's going to be Shala's favorite, because they're all her favorite.
Of course, they're like her children.
Of course they are. And there's like 220 of them. So using Tella as the agility anchor in this, I might add, the middle character is your agility anchor, and the one you're going to be, wow, that is one ugly dude.
Dragon Quest V, I think.
That is nightmare fuel.
You know what? Say what you want about his human character designs, but Akira Toriyama can really do some kick-butt monsters.
I've never seen this one. Yeah, this is new to me. The first one I ever saw, down memory lane here, first one I ever saw was Mike Tyson this, and that one made me laugh so hard.
The people are asking, that is, I believe, the final boss of Dragon Quest V. Nismo or something.
Yeah, that's I will bow down to Neon Gray's knowledge of that, because I have no idea. I don't know. I'd keep one as a pet if it was about 10 inches tall. Yeah, right?
I have cats. That's all the pointy, fleshy monsters I need.
I thought that's exactly what they turned into. I have cats as well.
Oh, I see. Not going for Slingshot, just tweaking on a couple more levels to get Nuke for Pelham. Because as I do see someone saying, the Slingshot may only be on X2.
That is in fact Nimzo. Someone should give it a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
Smapery, meanwhile, taking down the gauntlet, gonna be pleasantly rewarded with that darkness crystal once he's through these fights on Mount Ordeals.
And Trenton's gonna be doing a... looks like they're gonna be trying to grind a little bit, and the reuse, maybe just keeping their fight random encounters on just while they're traveling, which is not a bad idea, just does take a little bit of time.
Yeah, but you know what? He's not quite on endgame levels, so he's probably just shoring up for that so he's ready to go once he gets the crystal. And Invenerable is done.
So Inven's gonna be landing with the giant whale right outside, and gonna be starting this fight. He might be in a better level position than Swimmy. I was trying to see what their difference in health was, but I mean, one person has Tella, one person doesn't. So
we'll see soon enough. I don't think anybody expects Tella to live anyway.
No.
Look, there's a very rapidly moving ground right below them. They need people to inspect them, make sure it's safe to stand on and fight on.
Yeah, they're just saying hello to all the people below.
They're like, hey, I can see my castle from here.
I do know Swimmy is getting really close to hitting that Meteo phase, or possibly just going right over it. It's a really close roll on damage for both Boo and Palom.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're surviving, you're good, so...
Yeah, that is very correct. Reflect strats are very difficult when it comes to only having wall. you don't have J items to help speed that process up.
And it's not just speeding it up, because the actual durations are much better when you use the J items. So you've got to recast the wall a lot more often.
Alright. Invenerable just got the change over into Nismus, starting the official part of the battle. Swimmy is well into the battle. We'll see how well this goes.
Yeah, Invenerable's going hybrid, Swimmy looks to be going pure reflect, Sid's just kind of sitting there.
Boom! And there's the final hit for Swimmy. Swimmy finishing around 125-20-ish. I know we have an official SRL time.
Yes, you know what? We have a photo finish on this race, everyone. Swimmy Leone is finished in first with an official SRL time of 125.18, followed up immediately by Silver Star 6609 in second, coming in at 125.53.
Wow. Sniped. GG to Swimmy. We'll see if we can't get them in here for an interview. And Invenerable is in the middle of the fight. Edward doing his best sleeping impersonation. And the fight's going really well for Invenerable. And we've got the big whale coming out of the water for Smape, as well as Trenton going into the lunar subterrane. And basically on the hunt for that tower key. Probably thinking the same thing that Swimmy thought about just getting the tower key and going to it. So we'll see what route Trenton takes.
Alright, and we are now joined by our first place winner of this race, Swimmy Leone. GG to you. Something I think is wrong with your bike.
That is a very curious noise.
Hitting the helium?
How's it sound now?
Much
Way
better.
Way better.
Yeah, I forgot to it does that. Sorry. So,
That's
You were
fine.
beginning to sound kind of like Alvin there, Swimmy.
yeah, it does the weird dolphin noises. So anyway, thank you. GG's. That was a scary seed.
Yeah, you know what? It got scarier. You didn't end up doing the Baron key, did you?
I did Baron. I saw Odin.
Oh, so you did see that. I
reset
must have missed
before
that.
I even saw how much damage the Mega Nuke did. And I
99.99.
said, I hope it's not there. And then as the seed kept going and going and no one was finishing, I was like, I found the darkness crystal so late because I just didn't feel like doing more deals, I guess. And I was like, other people must have been in go mode for so long now. How's no one finished? Please don't be behind Wyvern.
And with that, real quick, Invenerable just got the final hit on Nismus and has also finished.
And yep, that is an official SRL time of 128.11.
And is that third place?
Yes, third place.
GG Invenerable. Yeah, watching with you and Invenerable both being in top 8, and this was literally like a preview. There was impeccable routing on Invenerable's side, but you literally just pinpoint directly went and was like, no, I'm not being debated today. It was impressive. It was very impressive, man.
I think key to a seed like that, getting a good time is sorry about my dogs. Is
Never apologize for dogs.
they are great. Ignoring treasure chests. I think at the end it said I opened a little over 50. And in most Seamus Zone flag seeds, I usually open a little over 90. But, you know, if you have Foo, and he already has Nuke, and you can plow through everything, then, yeah, just don't bother.
Absolutely. And we are joined by Invenerable. I'm going to lead off with my immediate question. How big of a sigh of relief did you give when you found the Darkness Crystal on Mount Ordeals?
I mean, I knew it was either there or at Wyvern, and given that there hadn't been any forfeits yet, I'm like, okay, hopefully it's there. Oh, and Swimmy, only 17 treasures this run.
I don't remember what I got.
Why open anything? You got Boo.
Only 17, that's smart.
I'm telling you, we got to see two very unique play styles. And the fact of Swimming just kind of managing to pick good spots and route relatively well, but when it came to routing, in all honesty, Envin, you were on point. Every single spot you went led you into the perfect routing. You pretty much did, 18 of 18, with the exception of Wyvern, which was legend. So...
Yeah, I just wish I hadn't messed up my grind so bad. Having Edward always throws me for a loop on D-Machine, because I specifically, if I have him, I want him to stay low level, low agility, be my anchor, and sometimes it's tricky to keep him dead at the right time. And then I wanted him alive to help me get life potions off on him, because with my original pattern ATB, it was just going to be one at a time, and I knew I wanted 13 dragons exactly. So I'm like, okay, let's try it again. And then I accidentally forget that Sid has a big honking hammer on, and what do hammers hurt? Machines, and just destroyed that searcher in one fell hit. So, but fun seed. I'm glad it wasn't at Wyvern. That would have been the pits.
We've actually seen a kill on that Wyvern this evening. Somebody, Snapey on the stream right now, got that wall off.
Oh, excellent. I mean, I had a plan for how to do it. Like, you saw me leave Tella in the watery passage. I'm like, if I end up having to fight Wyvern for the crystal, I'll put Tella in the middle, have someone in slot 2 with adamant arm, Fu with adamant in slot 2, and hope to get the wall off. But
yeah, there was that Artemis bow too. I was going to count on that.
Oh yeah, I could have slapped that on Fu as well, get even more speed. That's a good call.
It wasn't needed. Yay.
Yeah, Snapey doing that kill was actually really impressive. I've got to say that. They got the wall off and everybody in chat, and we were like, whoa, he did it. And he, not for a lack of trying either, it wasn't for a shot, took 2-3 shots, and they also had to go through and check the Luca. They missed the warp glitch. I think they underflowed and were unable to do it because I don't think they had ethers or something at the time, or maybe forgot ethers reset that. Yeah. So they had to go do Luca.
You have to feel bad for them too. Getting it had to be the legend sword at Wyvern, right? Yeah. To get that for your reward after struggling through that, ooh, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, it's a gamble and not a dumb one, because you got to figure no one else is going to do that. So if it's there, take your win. But yeah,
it was an impressive feat all the same. I mean, I'm mad props. I would have probably ran and cried in the corner.
All right. Well, thanks for commentating. I'm gonna head out. Thanks everyone so much.
Yeah, fantastic play from both of you. Really a joy to watch the whole way. Really, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to the finals even more. Just seeing you both up on the big screen together like that, just seeing the slight style differences and what results that makes.
Yeah, that day is gonna be crazy. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a good night.
I'm about to dip out too, but I will leave y'all with nothing feels quite as good as watching Zeromus kill itself. Whatever the sprite. Here, 300 points of virus damage, and have a good night.
That is the best way for it to go.
And then have a good one as well, GG to you as well.
Yeah. Thank you all for the commentary. Thanks, Speed Gaming, for restreaming us and everything. And Golden Hades on tracking. You're all the best. I can't wait to watch the playback. Have a good night.
Yes, you too.
Yeah, and with that was Swimmy Leone and Invenerable, two of your top 8. I wouldn't want to call them finishers yet, but two of your top 8 for the Highway to the Zema Zone. Keep your eyes out for the scheduling for that. They're amazing runners, as you can see, and Trenton and Smakety definitely showing off some skills as well. They're not slouches in their own means. They're doing a very good job as well.
Yeah.
As we see Smakety doing the grind and Trenton going through and finding the items throughout the lunar subterranean.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a very interesting way of going about it because we're on T3, but that means that we can get. Oh wait, no, not doing the trap ones. I understood from what you were saying, but yes, just getting the grind just by the walking through. Like that's, because a lot of the lunar subterranean grind is just walking around in the lunar subterranean. Might as well do that while you're on your way. Ooh, and Smakety trying to finish their, oh, no, that works. I've seen D-Machine grinds go very badly when, you try and end with a spell, but nuke is nuke. That should be full levels for them. Sup, Helen, get nuke there. Oh yeah, we're good to go. That
Edward health, though, I swear, level 51 and you have 1150 health, or 1165 health. Why? Why is that a thing?
It's funny, because level 51 to 60, his health skyrockets.
It does. He gets this weird, massive health boost.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's still in the range of levels that is intentionally, manually laid out. That's not under the random areas yet. That's set ranges. So, I don't get it, but I don't think anybody who's ever done that with Edward has ever complained about it.
You got to think about what the intentions of the developers were too. Edward was never supposed to make it past the first hour of the game.
Yeah, just fill it in with something.
I find it even funnier and more appropriate that Tella just, I don't know, personifies old man syndrome. But you can't expect anything different because it's Fu and Cecil are Lunarians, so it makes more sense that they have more power and things like that. And remember going through the first time in the game, you get Tella and you're like, 90 mana? Whoa! And then you get Fu and you're like, 190 mana? Whoa! And now you're like, why do they only have 190 mana?
Oh, and Smakety, with that grind under his belt, is now going back down to deal with the Land of Summit monsters, which... Just go to the moon, man. It's right there. Get a nice tower key.
And, if it's one of those things where if you get the tower key and you're like, it's you think about it, what's going on in IRC? There's a lot of people who don't look at IRC when they race. It just depends. If it's a daily, I actually watch IRC. I will do it just because I kind of like to see where I'm placing with other people.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm heads up racing or it's a qualifier race for some tournament or something to that effect, I try not to watch IRC because it makes me more worried. It makes me more high strung and I get scared and please don't let this happen or this play. I don't want this play to just slap me upside my face. But the second you find that tower key in this position, you're probably thinking, there's only been a few dot duns. I can see the tower key having this. Probably going to go straight to it. Probably even skip the top of the tower.
Yeah, well, I will not lie. I am definitely an inveterate metagamer, so I do look at that sort of thing a lot. And yeah, and as Swimmy's saying in chat, that somebody would have finished if the top of tower led somewhere productive.
Exactly. That metagaming is a thing that, in previous experience of racing tournaments with other games and things like that, I will consider especially in randomizers, what my opponent does or people that are in a race will do, just by knowing their styles and things of that nature. So metagaming is a thing that is not frowned upon when it comes to just using knowledge that is outside of the game. It's not a bad thing to do at all.
Yeah, like, as long as everybody has access to the same information, like, who's finished, it's still perfectly fair. I know some people don't like to do it, and that's perfectly reasonable, and in the end, only you are playing your own game. So, it can only help you so much, but, if you can get an edge, you have the tools to do so.
Exactly, and like you said, very good point. It's available to everybody, so it's a personal preference thing. And Venerable, I have to agree with you, man. Being 3 minutes behind and finishing third with as much as you completed, it came down to your routing. Your routing was absolutely impeccable. I can't stress that enough. It literally put you in the right spot every time, down from being able to go check Baron to go down and just fluidly check every spot that was possible to check.
Yeah, like that was some really efficient play that we saw. It took you through the entire game, but that was efficient. And this kind of got lost because we were in the middle of an interview at the time. But yes, if you're watching this on VOD, go flip back and take a look at that kill. Zero dropping to his own virus. That is,
That's insane and impressive. It's a swag kill, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
It's like hoping for Rosa to get the last kill, and you have Cecil and Kane with White Spear and Crystal Sword berserked up and ready to go and smashing Zeromus in the face. And Snake D probably happy to see the fact that this is an easy fight, but gonna absolutely be like, why do I have the Legend Sword and now the Excalibur? Please stop.
Just give me the crystal. And of course, we all know he's not gonna just get the crystal. It's gonna be the tower.
I'm sure he's also thinking too, like, you could have just given me your son and we could have had a whole better time.
Yeah, it's like, where's your son? Did you drag him down to the Hades? I bet they dragged him down to the Hades.
Oh man, I would love to see one of those. And Venerable mentioning in chat, honestly, the only thing better than the direct virus kill is HP ran out.
Oh yeah.
That would be hilarious to see on any stream, not just on like a bigger stage like this. That would be hilarious.
And we finally have a 4th place finisher in this race. Moon Blaze Wolf coming in 4th with an official SRL time of 1:42.29.
Wow.
So that's really impressive. Just, the gap between finishes here, and just seeing that's really something. So GG to you.
Without a doubt, GG. That also goes to show you that don't take something that looks like an easy seed, a free foo seed, starting with foo. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted. It can do some pretty rude things to you, just based on the K flag, the C3 flag. The C3 flag had a little bit to do with this too. There wasn't a whole lot of power involved, even though you had foo and Palom. Both of those have the nuke, but Tella and Edward is a very big hole in your group.
Yeah, and I mean, just because the individual fights, just because you have all the tools you need to take them out, doesn't mean going the length of the game is gonna be easy. Because it hasn't been, and you know what? And don't ever feel bad about yourselves if you're not able to pull off the same time as, say, the very best players in the game we have. Like, this is a race we've got going on here. we just only now got our 5th place finisher. So, you know what? You could do really well with this without even being the absolute best.
And above all else, remember, it's for fun.
Oh yeah.
It's for fun. Come join the Discord. Races are happening all the time that are for fun. They'll be doing round of 16 flags. They'll be doing league qualifier flags. You'll see people do ping to race in there all the time. Come join the Discord. It's the greatest group of people I've ever dealt with. The community is just welcoming. They're willing to answer questions. They're willing to talk to you about just interesting stats. And if you have a seed that you've come across that you're like, ugh, this seed was so bad, send it to Invenerable, because he'll take it.
Yeah, you know what? You know what they say? And it's that in free enterprise, they don't say I love you. They say, take a look at this seed. It's awful. And that's beautiful.
That is. It really is.
Like 24 hours a day, if you're having trouble figuring out how to deal with a boss, show up in that Discord and say, hey, I can't beat this boss. And someone will be able to help you figure out what you would need to do to take it out.
Oh yeah, there's always people out there willing to look at the situations and see what's happening and give you suggestions. I have personally dealt with and learned from these runners and these top of, the 8. Like Magus. El Magus is another perfect example of a runner that just you learn a lot from. You just learn a lot from him because he knows all the ins and outs. Fred Coughlin, another great runner. You just learn all the ins and outs. Quick question, Neon Gray. How many people do we have in this weekly race today?
We have, I just did a check here, but I'm going to have to count. 2. Looks like 17 racers, which is actually fairly small. We usually have between 20 and 30 at any given community race.
That's still, take that into consideration, that there's 17 to 18 runners, and we've only had 5 finishers, maybe 6 right now. So not even half of the group has finished yet. That's what this seed did. The way that this seed... 17. It's a conspiracy. I see where you're going with that, Invenerable.
It's 17 to 17 night.
Illuminati.
And Trenton's got his tower key. We're gonna see if... I believe he's done every other slot now, so he should be heading out to head to 0 right away. Well, to the tower, and then to 0 right away.
Yeah, so tower to pretty much... I can see Trenton doing the same thing Swimmy did. Just getting that that thought of, tower's going to be the spot. Where are you going?
Why is he?
Where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're going
No,
the
you
wrong
need your
way.
crystal. You need to go get a crystal, Trenton. Please, go get a crystal.
Oh man. The good news is, though, if he goes into the Zeromus room and realizes, oh wait, this is too far, he might think there's another boss down here, because a lot of people are not used to going to the lunar subterranean.
Maybe, but...
I mean, he just realized.
Okay, good.
He just realized, he's like, wait, this is the last spot. Why am I... Okay, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, okay, good.
Oh, and Venerable, we know, you were hoping for Edge. We know, because you bought like 70,000 long swords in preparation for Edge. And then you saw Tella and were like, you're not Edge. You were the exact opposite of Edge.
Oh, 50 shuriken. 2 long swords.
Oh, okay. And see, I just saw the number go up and I saw the purchase. That's all I saw. I didn't even realize shurikens were there. You were still preparing for Edge, though. You're right. You're absolutely right. What else would you spend money on? There was a lot of vanilla in this seed, though. As far as why are they warping? Why is Trenton warping?
Did he do Wyvern? He might be warping back to the Wyvern spot.
Oh, you can't exit out of the bottom part.
Yeah.
You can't exit out of the crystal area. You actually have to go up to that spot, so that's why they were warping.
Yeah, so, okay, yeah. Also got 2 ice brands in case of Cecil or Kane, and gosh, you know what? This would have been a very different seed with Edge, with Cecil, with Kane. You know, that Avenger, that White Spear, all of that ninja gear.
Mm-hmm. Kane probably would have been the biggest difference maker with the Avenger and White Spear combination.
Yeah, though,
And
I mean, I'm very much a fan of Avenger and Excalibur on Cecil, too.
I love Avenger Kane. Ever since I discovered that, I was like, what? This is overpowered. I'm doing this every chance I get.
He's so good. He's so good.
And then, of course, I got shown another strat where you can do the Drain Spear or Drain Sword on Kane and move the Avenger over, and he can solo Zeromus if the damage is right.
Yeah, like, he absolutely can. It can take a while if you do that, though. Hi, Nirm. Though that was Cecil, that was without Berserk at all, but it can take a while if you do it with a Drain Sword because it doesn't hit very hard.
Yeah, but it's just easy street. Go get a cup of coffee.
But I will say I did it with Kane on an Avenger once on another really rough Wyvern. Yeah, that was a Wyvern at Asura. And that's how I learned the run buffer, by the way.
Yeah, you know, Wyvern definitely gives you the immediate, oh no, I should probably try to run. And Smapey doing some very interesting strats here. D-Lunar is one of the few lunar bosses that you can actually do a pretty interesting status effect to. You can turn them into frogs.
Yeah, but you can't do it by casting it directly because the frog spell won't work on a boss. But you know what doesn't work on a boss? Breath. That's, you know, bad breath. The same thing that Malboros do, all of those guys. And you know what else is a cool thing about breath? It's reflectable. So, the D-Looter script is such that it will just, it'll attack you, it'll cast fire a few times, and then it'll do breath.
So Trenton did the tower key first, but is going ahead and deciding to do the top of tower.
I can't blame them for doing that. It's right there. You don't want to have it sitting there looming over you.
It's thorough. I completely understand, because if you go down and you don't get the crystal or don't get a good item leading to something like the rat tail or whatever, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I just left something up there and I have to climb back up there. It's a thought of, I don't want to double dip.
Yeah, it's a reasonable decision. We know, sadly, that it's not the right one, but it makes perfect sense.
I mean, they're already grounded. Yeah, they've
done their grind. Yes,
they've done their level grind, and they are going to be able to get their crystal right away. Not even have to check the rat tail. I'm pretty sure they've already done the pink tail.
Yeah.
Head on over to Zerma. So.
Yeah, so not much of a loss here by doing it. So.
I have to admit, some of the the bosses that can be in this top tower spot with this initial music for the Ballnab and Dr. Lugie fight is amazing. Like, some of them are just hilarious.
Oh yeah. And it's it's always kind of sad when you get one of the bosses that will change the music mid-fight.
Here's looking at you, Golbez.
On the other hand, you know what? Golbez is fantastic to find here because the magic stat of this slot is minuscule.
Yeah, very weak magic slot.
And Smapety done the everything else on the moon now. About to hit up the Ogopogo slot. We'll get that tower key. That is what is needed for progression here.
And Trenton is saying, "Be gone, bygone," and gonna go and grab that crystal from the helpers of Sid, and oddly enough, going to be Sid.
Yeah, might as well. Let's let bygones be bygones, and get our crystal.
And who can argue the soundtrack of the SNES Final Fantasy games? You know, Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 6, and Mystic Quest all had just amazing soundtracks.
Yeah, like, you know, shoutouts to the sound chip in the Super Nintendo. It put out some amazing samples. And, you know, the composers that Square had working for them, Uematsu, of course, and I'm sorry, I don't remember Mystic Quest's composer's name. You know, fantastic work there. And yeah, we are
And-
only up to 7th place in this race.
So Trenton might be sneaking into that halfway mark, getting an 8th. Just got to go to... Okay, they might be getting their pink tail. I don't know if they got the second adamant armor yet. So...
Yeah, he might not have yet. Oh, there's the pink tail.
Okay.
We're just cashing them both in while he's here.
Yeah, I'm, maybe thinking, what if I get a good weapon for... I doubt that you would, actually.
It's possible.
You wouldn't, I mean, other than maybe the Artemis, like we've already gotten, which he already has one, there's no other good weapon you could get for Sid or anything like that, which obviously take that
Stardust
off.
Rod would be nice. Why doesn't he have the Artemis bow on? He's had that the entire game. Weird. Oh well.
He just took it off of Edward and put it onto Sid.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah. So second Artemis might have done. Oh, he hasn't been using either of his adamant armors, just finally placing them now. But,
Okay, then.
oh no, he doesn't... He's got the bows in the main hand. This is, of course, something that may not be necessarily intuitive, but if you look at, say, Rosa, who does come equipped with the bow, you'll notice that she has arrows equipped in her main hand and the bow in the other hand. That's how you actually get the good attack power out of bows.
Yeah, I mean, it follows the... I mean, in all honesty, this is something developers thought about. It literally follows actual archery. You don't shoot with your offhand. You don't pull and draw the arrow with your offhand. So
Yeah. Like, it makes sense, but you wouldn't necessarily realize it as you're just setting up.
and like right as I say that, and then just like in real life, archery, not Stardust rods.
I want real Stardust rods.
You know, there's a lot of things from this game that would be fun to have in real life.
Like an infinite money glitch.
You're right. That's a perfect example. The ability to walk on the moon without any kind of headgear or, air or anything.
A giant flying whale. Sleeping birds watching our floor, which comes from our tracker there.
Invent, please. I guess you could shoot Roman candles at each other and call it that. Oh, that's funny. And Trenton going in to the Zeromus fight, going to see their nightmare fuel firsthand. Any finishes so far? Are they looking pretty for getting 8th place.
Let's see. Yeah, our most recent finish is still Poidric at 7th with 154.56.
Very interesting.
Oh, and I tell a lie. We have just now had Nitsky finishing in 8th place with a finish with a time of 2 hours and 5 seconds.
GG Nitsky. Very well done. And you tell a lie, really?
Oh no.
Puns.
No.
Yeah, and Palom and Porum would be the kind of kids to do that. Because after all, they come from the town where the elder of the town decides to send the 2 youngest kids out with this random Dark Knight dude to go pretty much die on a mountain.
And really, let's be real, Pelham is basically, as it is, Bart Simpson with magic.
Yeah, they're like, the scariest thing that I ever found out about Final Fantasy IV is that Palom and Porum were like 6. They were not even in double digits, and you're walking around with these kids.
Yeah. Oh, and Smapty is doing tower right now on the way down. Gonna get that crystal.
Straight skip top. Good call. Well, no, they got the rat tail, so they did do top.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that.
Yeah,
is
seeing a lot less
right
damage
now?
on reserves. I think oh, not yet.
Those
Still-
Berserk Edward strats, though.
Still really low just from the misplaced arrows.
I don't disagree, Gale Guy. They, a lot have tried, and pretty much all have failed. It's a legend, and thus I think there's a story about the Legend Sword, is that a faithful knight or whatever would come up there and get the Legend Sword to be turned into the Paladin. So it was like one person foretold to be the Paladin.
Yeah, so really, tell us, Elder, what you really think of these small children. Sending them to the Mountain of No Return.
The children even admit, though, they're like, we were sent to make sure you were going to die. It's like, wait, what? Huh?
I think there's something the Elder isn't telling you.
Right?
I mean, Porum seems like a good kid. Why would you leave her to die?
I know, right? Porum at least smacks Palom upside the head.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was a really... Oh, that was a Cure 4 from Tella. Okay, I was like, that was a really weak heal.
Yeah, that's why. And that's why we don't rely on Tella to heal.
Yeah, and not even with decent gear, Tella does just not do much at all. He can sort of hold his own, and the Zeromus fight, he's a floor anchor.
Yeah, like, he's definitely a character who you could extract some use out of. But, yeah. Okay, as in Venerable does remind us, yes, you can, a Cure 4 on a single target will always be a full heal. But, a lot of the time in Zero Fight, you're not looking for a single target heal. Smapty pulling Zero as well.
And Edward's doing his best invisible impersonation here.
know what? It's actually a really good idea to do that with Edward here, and it's not just some sort of like weird Edward joke. If you're doing it like that, then you can time it very easily so that he could easily just, be an item healer, which we have certainly in the items to do.
He's got Sid as the anchor right now. He's also got the dwarf axe on, so he might end up having a decent agility. I don't really know. He does have the adamant armor on Sid. He put it on Fusoya and Sid. I mean, Sid is definitely leveled up to about where you had them and where Trenton has them, because the life totals are similar. I mean, it's even higher than what Trenton has them.
Yeah, it's...
Having Sid in the middle there is an interesting play, but for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Sid's usually a fine anchor, but...
You have Edward.
Edward's really fast.
That is true. Yeah, I guess I'm usually used to Edward being lower level.
Yeah, like that's a... Oh! And GG to Trenton with an official SRL time of 2:06:13.
And is that a 9th place finish?
Yes, that is a 9th place finish.
Very well done, Trenton.
Apparently I'm terrible at telling people what place people finish in.
Well, you had me on pins and needles, because we talked about the 8th place finish, and...
Yes, 9th place, still top 10.
Just under that 50% mark, which is not bad at all with 17 people in. The seed was not kind, so...
Yeah, like, it was about... Oh, and there we go. GG to you, Trenton. How are you feeling about that?
That was something. I was trying to think of what to nickname Niram seeds, because I'm gonna have to come up with a nickname for them now, but I couldn't come up with anything just yet.
I think it was Natara, not Niram.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Apologies to both.
I'm feeling like this one is, still filled with Valkyrie energy. It's not the same as a Scala seed, but, it's a sister to it.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I was wondering if I was down editing myself as we went along. I decided to make the play for Golbez because I thought I could get him, and I saw that as a roadblock spot. So I figured if I got the crystal there was a good chance I was winning, or at least top 5. And that unfortunately ended up being a waste of time. Then, when no one was done yet, I figured, okay, had to be on the moon. Then I got the tower key and says, well, that explains it.
Yeah, it was really interesting because a lot of the obvious places that it might have been were, came up completely dry.
So how about that Odin
party
spot?
in a C3, that's bound to happen. I get Edward every single time, it seems like. But 2 adamant armors, I guess I can't complain that much.
Of course.
So what were your thoughts on that Odin spot?
I'm sorry, that was a little low for me. Try that one more time.
What were your thoughts on that Odin spot?
I felt pretty good about Odin.
Well, not the Odin boss. Odin spot.
Never went to Odin
Wyvern
spot.
Odin spot.
Never
Oh
used
yes. You missed that then. I knew someone didn't go there, and I misthought earlier that it was Swibby, but no, that was you. So the
Let me
actual
guess,
Baron Castle.
Wyvern?
Yes.
Figures.
Wyvern sitting on the legend sword.
Okay, I had the other half. Could have opened up the shop.
Oh, but didn't need it in the end, so hey.
Yeah, we actually had somebody on stream kill Wyvern. Smakey actually got the kill.
Had the spoon, but no Edward. I would have done it.
Yeah, an edge would have helped a lot, but a lot of things would have helped a lot this seed.
Yeah, I felt off since very early on. I went ahead and went for the D machine grind early, had plenty of week, and I did not know MP underflow before today. I learned that just a few hours ago getting ready for this, so I was happy for myself to pull it off as much as I did. And I just went for the levels early because there was no benefit to waiting, but just couldn't get a good rhythm there, so eventually I called it probably 5 levels or so shorter than I should have.
Oh, that's why. Because, yeah, we did notice you taking the walk-along grind through the subterrane. And, yeah, well, that makes sense. So I did see you were a little short for endgame there.
Yeah, as long as I nerfed Big Bang, I was going to be fine with Tella and Sid, so they could carry me.
Oh, yeah.
Quake Kid was probably going to be alright in most circumstances, and Tella and Edward I just wasn't going to try and keep alive.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
But as far as the actual Z fight went, one, thank you Scarlet Kitty, because that was awesome. First time I've seen that one. And I felt pretty good about it, just good rhythm there.
Yeah, that was nice and smooth for you. That went really well for you.
I am a huge fan of sticking the slow on Z. It makes such a difference and just really makes up for a lot of shortcomings.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Smapety has now finished in 11th place with an official SRL time of 2:10:57.
Well, GG, and especially to anybody who finished this one sub 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say other than hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight, and I gotta go get ready to do comms for FF1.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody's finishing up now too, because I'm in that race, so...
Oh, wow. Y'all, hey, good luck on the comms and good luck on the race for that, for sure.
Alright, thanks. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good one, Jordan. GG again.
Yes, talk to you later.
And yeah, with that, Smapety did get that kill. That is all 4 of our runners on the restream, getting them down. Was that a 10th place finish?
11th place. 10th was sniped and 2:08:30 by Doctor of Spin. And Smapety's here. Let me just pull him in. And there's Smapety. GG to you.
Hey, GG.
So, since you're the only one who managed to pull this off, out of anyone on stream, and as far as I know, anyone in the race, how about that Odin slot?
Oh yeah, well, that was a gamble, and it didn't pay off, but it felt good.
Undoubtedly, it's very appropriate that it was the Legend Sword because you, sir, are a legend.
Thank you. Yeah, it was I wanted to give a good, showing of how to do every single glitch in the game incorrectly. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But yeah, no, I kind of figured, you know what, if there's something behind Wyvern here on Odin and I managed to pull it off, then that'll be a huge advantage. But yeah, no, there wasn't, and it was great.
You know what? That was amazing to see there. You know what? Chat just went wild when the wall actually went off, and that was great to see right there.
Well, good. That makes up for completely botching the Dwarf Castle warp skip. So I'll take that.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, though, I have done that personally more than once, forgetting I've done the stupid underflow.
I had no idea. I completely forgotten underflow locks you out of menu magic. And I'm like, why isn't this working? Does it need to be Rydia? Like, I was going through like every possibility in my head as to why it wasn't working.
You can't undo it if you have an ether.
That's what I was going to say. Did you have ethers?
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, so anything that actually resets your mana at all, anything you can or put on yourself like an elixir or anything like that resets your mana will put you right back to be able to cast from the menu.
Okay. I will remember that going forward. Obviously, I need to play more with glitchless flag off.
But honestly, I've been in the same spot as you and just been like, great, now I have to go worry about this Luca key. And it's been more often than not that I get vanilla Luca keys, so I'm like, I could have skipped this.
Right. Well, that's why when I went in there, I was like, I might as well grind at a couple of these trapdoors so it doesn't feel like a complete waste of time. And then the package was at the bottom. I'm like, well, never mind.
So overall thoughts on the seed, though? Like,
this was a lot of fun. This was a terrifying set of flags to look at going into this. But then I think when everybody turned it on and saw that Fu was the first character, I think a lot of the anxiety kind of dispersed right there.
Oh yeah, like I remember seeing that, and I'm like, oh, well then, that it's a great show.
That and the early magma key, I guess, turned me away from more deals, which ended up being the play. So that was another thanks, Seed.
I don't think anyone rushed there.
Yeah.
First on stream did, man. In all honesty, though, this was a perfect showing of how flags can just do certain things. You're like, oh, this is easy street. Start with Fu, with a free Fu full of magic and everything, and then you realize, wait, no, I now have to go do this and this and this, and good lord, why am I having
Then before you know it, you're 18 of 18. And
Exactly.
Well, you may not have won the race, but you won everyone's hearts.
Well, that's what's important. I'm out for hearts and minds.
the necromancer farmer. Any final thoughts there, Snaky?
Not really. I think that pretty much covers it. But yeah, thanks for giving the opportunity to play on stream, and thanks everybody for cheering me on against Wyvern. Glad I was able to give you a good show.
That was great to watch, and you know what? Thanks also for the Lunar Frogs too. Everybody else just brute forced them. You gave us the frogs.
Oh, you got to do the frogs. I mean, it's just it's too much fun to not do the frogs.
And thank you so much again, and GG to you. I mean, honestly, you finished in a respectable time, especially for what happened. You did better than I would have done. So
I'll take it then. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we had Trenton and Venerable, Swimilione, and Smapety on the restream for you. Swimilione and Venerable both in the top 8. Keep your eyes peeled for the races for that. Great runners, all 4 of these folks, everybody who joined this race. With that, I've been unknown availability. A thank you to our tracker who did a fantastic, absolutely amazing job from Golden Hades. Like I think I probably would have beat my head against the desk on that. But without a doubt, thank you. But Neon Gray, go ahead and take us out.
Yeah, and I am Neon Gray. Make sure you give all of our racers a follow, give Unknown Availability a follow, give Golden Hades a follow. I would also like to thank Speed Gaming for hosting us, being a fantastic host here. I'm not sure where we're going to be sending you all after this. I'm seeing a Sonic Adventure 2 race going on Speed Gaming 2. Something to do with Mega Man X on 3. And yes, and if you want more Final Fantasy action, you know what? Come back in about half an hour to this very channel. We're going to have the Final Fantasy 1 League race coming on. That is going to be great fun too. That is going to be the Marsh Madness. So if you have ever wanted to see racers double dipping a dungeon that they hate, that's going to be something you want to see. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on the Speed Gaming Networks tonight. Make sure that you watch something here. With that, then, I will, I've been Neon Gray, I'm signing off, and, have a great evening, everyone.
Have a fantastic night and a wonderful weekend.